Okay. All right. Back to business here. Okay. Donde está? Aquí. Okay. All right. Here we go. Beside is the first one. Remember those potential actions in the future? Do we use a gerund or an infinitive?
To quit.
To quit.
To quit his job 2 months ago.
Right. A potential action, you want to use infinitive. Oops, with one Q. All right. Number 2, nothing fancy here. A question about the
Very
past.
hard for the last hours. It has been raining.
This
Did.
sell.
Did Mr. Smith.
Did
Sold.
sell.
Sell? Did
sell.
sell.
Did sell. Simple past question. The next one says for an hour.
It has been raining.
Has been raining.
It has been raining.
Has been raining. All right. Next one. By the time my father came home, by the time my father came home.
Has gone. Has already gone.
I was
I have already
Has
gone
already gone.
to work.
That's perfect.
Mhm.
By the time my father came home, I had already gone to work. For many years.
My parents have been
Have
known.
No, my parents know the mayor for many years.
Have been known.
Have known, right?
no.
Have known.
Present perfect. Remember, we're not going to use been ing here because know is not an action.
Okay, have known.
All right. Okay. This one goes back to some of our early lessons for chapter 9 and chapter 10. I wouldn't have stayed home yesterday if I
Was feeling.
Was feeling.
If I hadn't
If I
hadn't feel it,
had feel.
we could say had felt, or we could say had
feeling.
been feeling. But we need past perfect, right?
Okay.
That was just like that first example in the error correction. Remember, if in the past, we need past perfect.
Had felt.
If I had felt well or if I had been feeling well. I wouldn't have stayed home if I had been feeling well.
Okay.
All right? Nothing tricky here. We have there and past. So should I say there was or there were?
There were.
There were.
There were.
You got it. There were 10 students in the class last night.
There were supposed.
Suppose. Now remember this one? This was in like chapter 2.
There were
Suppose, what do we use? Infinitive. You got it.
To tell.
They were supposed to tell me about the change in schedule yesterday. They were supposed to tell me. Be supposed to. Remember, supposed to uses that passive form, right? Got to have that ed. Remember that was, I think, lesson F in chapter 2. All right. The next one says tries. Somebody tries to see. Sandy tries to see her mother every Tuesday. Tries to see. Perfecto. The next one says not yet.
I haven't made.
I haven't made anything for breakfast yet. I haven't made. Present perfect. The next one is a question about yesterday. What can we say about yesterday?
When did Miss Matthew
leave? Right.
When did Miss Matthew leave?
Number 12. It is hard
to improve.
To improve.
My pronunciation very much.
Okay.
To improve.
All right. The next one.
That's
we have by Elvis Presley over here. So do we want an active or a passive?
Was
passive.
Was, right.
Was sung.
That song was sung by Elvis Presley in 1957. Was sung. Number 14. When Jim was a boy, what did he want?
He wants it. He
He
wants
He
to be
wanted.
Wanted, right?
Wanted to be an astronaut.
Wanted to be an astronaut. Wanted. The next one, nothing fancy here. Now. So do we say do or are?
are
Right.
Are the students
Practicing.
practicing.
Practice.
the lesson?
practicing.
Practice.
Are the students practicing their lessons now?
If
All right.
I wash the dishes,
If I wash,
If I
exactly. Simple present.
Wash.
This is a possibility, right? Remember the
Yes.
possible conditional. This was in chapter 9. The possible conditional, we use present. If I wash the dishes, my sister is going to sweep the floor. All right, let's see. Ever. Ever sounds like present perfect to me.
Have you
Past
have
did
your
As your favorite team
has
ever
your favorite team ever
won the World
won.
Series.
won?
Has won.
Has won.
Has
If some
All right, the
If
next
Sam
one
wasn't,
he
says he would go. Wasn't is not a bad
Sam-
idea, but remember,
Sam-
be verb is special. What do we say? Do I
Well,
say if I
well,
was
so
you
true.
or if I were you?
if,
I
if
were
some were
you,
not
were
so
you?
tired,
Were.
So here we need weren't, right? If Sam
Were.
weren't so tired, he would go to the class tonight. If he weren't so tired, remember, if I were, if he were,
but
if
we
she
can say
were.
we're not. I mean, if some were not.
We're not is fine, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not wasn't, right? Wasn't is
No, weren't.
informal
We're not.
English.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see, the next one here says next Monday. Something's going to happen next Monday. What's going to happen next Monday?
We will
We will
We will.
we will.
find.
Or, of course, we could say
We're going to find.
we are going to find, right? All right.
Jackets and
Now, the next
ties
one, we have jackets and ties.
are usually
Are.
Wear.
And past
Wearing.
participle,
Wearing.
worn, right? Because it's passive. Are usually worn.
as soon as you,
Simple present, passive.
as soon as you,
This one is what we talked about in the last chapter.
as soon
Remember as soon as?
as soon as you put your shoes
Exactly.
on your shoes.
Simple present, exactly.
Good.
Remember, we use simple present in the future time. In the future time clause, simple present tense verb. Now the next one says, for the last few weeks,
We haven't used it.
We
we
have
haven't used,
I
right?
haven't used it.
Or we could say, haven't been using.
haven't been using.
All right, the next one,
Living.
living, right?
Living.
Living in Washington, D.C. will be a great experience for you. Not today, right? Not today.
I
I don't want to be in Washington, D.C. today. That's a
don't believe.
tr-
I don't
trouble.
believe in ghosts.
I don't believe, right? Good. Simple past and simple present, negative.
How long have you?
Have
How
you
long have you had the motorcycle?
had the motorcycle? Right. How long have you had that motorcycle?
How long
Have you had?
Have you had?
have you had?
Have you had? Okay.
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 Okay. Not too bad. Preguntas,
No.
problemas?
A lot of problems, teacher.
A lot of problems.
A lot of questions.
A lot. Questions, and problems. All right. Good. I want to start today with a little practice of using those subject clauses we were talking about yesterday. And I want to talk first, we're we're going to practice together about using an adjective clause to make a definition. Using an adjective clause to make a definition. Okay? So let's take a look at it for a second. I'm going to put the board up for just a second, and we're going to practice. All right. This board is acting strange. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. Adjective clauses in definitions. All right, now, what were the 3 words we were learning last night? We had three key connectors, right? What were they?
Who,
Who,
That,
that,
and
and
which.
which, right? Who, that, and which. So we're going to try to make a sentence like this. X is Y that dun 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 dun. Or X is Y who dun 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 dun. Or X is Y which dun 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 dun. What do I mean? Well, let me show you. For example, let's see. Let's see. Cheetah is a cat that can run very fast. Right, you see what I did? Here I'm making a general statement, and then I'm using an adjective clause for the definition. A cheetah is a cat that can run very fast. All right? For people, of course, we're going to use who. So what I could say, for example, let's see, what's a person I could say? A friend is a person who will support you. Okay? A friend is a person who
will support you.
Okay, let me give you one more example with which. Remember, is which for people or for things?
For things.
For things, right. So we could say, polar bear is a bear that lives in the Arctic. All right. Everybody see what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I have the specific noun, and then I have a general noun, and then I have a verb. And I have my 3 connectors. Oops. My 3 connectors. I have that.
Who? That.
Oh, I wrote that again. Let me switch it. Sorry.
Which?
I need all my connectors in my examples. There we go.
Okay.
Right? A polar bear is a bear which lives in the Arctic. Okay?
Okay.
All right, got the idea?
Yes.
Do you need more time to write that down, or are you okay?
No, I'm
Okay.
finished. I'm finished.
You got it? Finished?
Yeah.
No problem?
Cheetah is a cat.
A cheetah is a cat that runs fast. A friend is a person who will support you. A polar bear is a bear which lives in the Arctic. Okay?
It's a cat.
All right. So let me stop that share for a
That
second.
can run very fast.
Everybody got it or no?
That can. No, teacher.
Wait. Okay. All right. Well, while you're writing, I'm going to explain what we're going to do. I have here my special magic hat. Here's my magic hat. And in this magic hat, I have a lot of nouns. And you're going to make a sentence, and you're going to give me a definition with a noun. So, for example, all right, let's see. The first noun that I have is printer. Printer. So what is a printer?
The
A
printer.
printer is
It's a machine.
a
It's a
machine
machine. It's a
that
machine
You
that
make copies.
Make copies.
is
Make
used to
copies.
make copies. Or a printer is a machine that makes copy that prints from your computer, right?
Okay.
Right? You got the idea?
Yeah.
All right. Can I go back to the main room? Everybody
Yes,
got it
teacher.
copied down?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
Okay. All right. So everybody ready?
Teacher,
What
question. So we need to use the words that, who, and which.
Right. In this
Do you-
case, now
in this
we're
case.
going to talk about a different one tonight where you don't need any connector. But for these, you definitely have to have who, that, or which.
Or which? Okay.
100%. No
Okay.
options. Only those three choices.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Who can I start with tonight? How about, let's start in the middle with Claudia. Hello, Claudia.
Hello, teacher.
All right. What is a chimpanzee?
A chimpanzee is an animal that lives in, oh my God, in the
jungle.
In the jungle? Yeah, okay.
Or
Alright.
in the jungle.
A chimpanzee is an
In
animal
Madagascar.
that likes to eat bananas, right? A chimpanzee is an animal that is similar to a human,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? We could use any kind of clause, but what do? An animal that verb. Or we can say which, right? A chimpanzee is an animal
that.
which loves bananas.
Which
Right. A chimpanzee is an animal that can climb a tree. Right? A chimpanzee is an animal that lives in a group, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Good.
Okay.
All right. David Segovia, are you ready?
I think so, teacher.
Okay. What is a plumber? A plumber.
A plumber is a person who fixes the house. Houses.
Who fixes what in particular?
Who fixes pipe?
Who fixes the pipes in your house, right? A plumber is a person who repairs your pipes, right? A person who repairs the pipes. All right, Isadora. What is a carpenter?
A carpenter
A carpenter.
is a carpenter is a man who makes tables.
Who makes tables or makes things with wood, right?
Who makes furniture.
Who makes things with wood, right? Okay. All right. Armando.
Yes, sir.
What is a panda?
Panda is an animal who lives in China.
That lives in
I mean,
China.
that lives in China.
A panda is an animal that lives in China, right? An animal that lives in China, or an animal which lives in China. All right, Edith.
Yes.
What is a forklift?
What, teacher?
A forklift.
Forklift.
Forklift?
Es un
A forklift.
It's a
montacargas.
machine.
Forklifts.
Cargas.
Es montacargas. Es a
Oops. Ay, ay, ay.
It's called.
Fork.
It's called a forklift.
Oh,
forklift.
fork. Oh,
Forklift.
forklift. Forklift.
It's a machine.
It's a machine.
It's a machine with
Hold on. Let Edith do it.
lifted boxes.
Heavyweights.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You want to try it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, give it a try.
Okay. A forklift is
Machine.
a machine
That
that
lift
lift
Heavy things.
heavy things.
lifts, or how about hold?
Or holds or carries, moves.
Moves heavy things.
Right. So a forklift is a machine
A
that
that
lifts heavy things or
lift
carries heavy things
heavy things.
in a
Yes,
warehouse, right?
in a warehouse. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for
All
your
right.
help, Armando and Isidoro. Thank you. You are very kind with me.
Everybody's very helpful.
You're welcome.
All right. Julio, what
Yes.
is a flight attendant? A flight attendant.
I don't know.
Flight attendant. Who can help?
It's
Who can help
hermosa.
with a flight attendant? Do I have a
Oh,
volunteer?
the
Is the
aeromoza.
person who helps and the people in the
In
airplane.
the
In the plane.
airplane.
In the airplane?
So one more time. So a flight attendant is the person who
Who
Helps
helps the
in the
passengers
plane.
In
on
an
the plane.
airplane?
in
Yeah. A flight attendant is the person who helps the passengers on the plane. Brings them a
Oh,
soda,
thank you.
gives them popcorn. Well, no popcorn. But peanuts anyway. All right.
Drinks
So
beer,
tequila and beers.
sometimes.
yeah. Although they're not doing any food on the flight anymore, right? No
What
food.
about the
Some.
beers?
Yeah, no beers, no nothing. We don't get
No?
nothing. All right. All right. Let's see. Guadalupe, are you ready?
Hi. Yeah.
What is a Dalmatian? A Dalmatian.
The mesh.
It's
An animal.
it's a dog
Uh-huh.
that it has a lot of spots on.
Very good. Right.
Your body.
A dog, a Dalmatian is a dog that
That
has
it
a lot of
has a
black
spot on
spots,
his body. Yeah.
Dalmatian is a dog that has a lot of black spots.
Yes.
Good. All right. Noel,
Yeah, yes.
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Noel, what is an optimist? An optimist.
Optimist is a person that thinks positive.
Thinks positively, right? An optimist is a person that, or an optimist is a person who thinks positively, right?
Who thinks?
Has a positive attitude, right? Looks on the bright side of things. All right. Guadalupe.
Ah. Another one?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I see your name twice. That's why I was going to give you two. Sorry.
Teacher, ask me another one.
Oh, Julio wants another one. Okay.
Yes.
Julio, what is a secretary?
A secretary is the person who takes care of the letters
the
and
office.
Yeah, who takes care of office
important papers.
correspondence? Mm-hmm.
Important
Yeah,
papers.
who manages the office for the boss, right? All right. Let's see. Leonardo,
Yes,
what is a tailor?
a tailor is a person that
Who?
who
Sí, oui. Sí,
Who
oui.
does what?
no,
A tailor is a person who
okay.
Makes
Who,
clothes.
makes clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah, especially men's clothes, right?
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's like a suit, right? If I
Like
need,
a sastre.
yeah, like
Like a
yeah,
sastre. That's what it is.
there we go. All right, let's see. All right, Jose Garcia,
Yes, teacher.
what is a koala?
Huh?
A koala.
Koala. Oh, it's an
Koala
animal
bear.
that lives in Australia.
Right, a koala is an animal that lives in Australia. Good. All right. Rodriguez,
Yes, teacher.
what is an elephant?
The elephant is an animal which is very big.
Which is very big and has Big ears and a long nose, right?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, I got two left. I'll give them open to anybody. Okay. What is a housekeeper?
Housekeeper is a person who cleans.
Who maintains the house clean.
Who cleans the house, right?
Who cleans the
Keeps the house clean, right?
Also,
All right. A housekeeper is a person who cleans the house on a
Cleans the
regular
house.
basis, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What is a penguin?
Penguin is an animal that lives
Means an
and
animal
the North Pole.
North.
The North Pole. The ice.
The other one, the South Pole, right? Antarctica, right?
Antarctica, that's the
Yeah,
right word.
that's right. So a penguin is a bird that lives in Antarctica, or a penguin is a bird that is black and white, or a penguin is a bird that can't fly. All right. So what were those? Those are what we call subject pattern clauses, because we had the same thing every time. We had noun, connector, verb. Noun, connector, verb. A bird that lives in Antarctica. A person who makes men's clothing, right? A dog that has many spots, etc., etc., etc. Those are called subject pattern clauses. And they are maybe the easier one to do. Now, there's another kind of clause that we're going to talk about tonight that we call an object pattern clause. Let me introduce it a little bit, and then we're going to do some practice with that. An object pattern clause is a little bit different. All right? Let me go back to the board here for a second. Back to the board. Let me erase. Okay. So we're going to talk tonight about object pattern clauses. Object pattern clauses. Right, now first, let's do some definitions, right? Remember, in English, in a regular sentence, where is the subject, typically? Is it before or after the verb?
Before.
Before the verb, right?
Before
the verb.
And an object typically is in the opposite position, right? The object, oops, is usually after a verb, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. If I have a sentence like this, let's see, what can I say? Let's see. What did I do? I took a bus and my friend told me about the bus. Okay, so
my friend told me about the bus.
So here we have bus, right? And here we have bus, right? Where is the word bus?
In the end.
In the end.
The end.
I mean,
so if I want to describe the bus that my friend told me about was dirty. I don't know. All right, this is what we call an object pattern clause. Right? What we were just practicing what we call a subject pattern. The subject pattern had noun, connector, verb, right? But look what we have here. We have the noun, the bus. Then we have our connector, that. But what do we have over here?
Verb.
A subject
Son,
and a verb, right? A subject and a verb. So the pattern is going to be this. Noun plus connector plus subject plus verb. So here we have this other subject, right? What was the pattern we were just practicing when we were making sentences about the penguin? We had noun, connector, verb, right? A penguin is an animal that lives in Antarctica, right? We had only a verb. Now we're going to have a subject and a verb. Now, the connectors are just a little bit different. For people, we can use who, but that's not really correct. We can use whom. We can use that. Or we can use no connector. For people, for things, we can use, again, which, that, or no connector. Let me show you what I mean. So, I talked to a man, the man was nice, okay? So the man who I talked to was nice. The man, well, let me do it easier. Give me just a second here. Got to get my special symbol. All right. There it is. Okay, back to the board here for just a second. Okay. All right. So when I talk about a man, I could have those four choices. The man who I talked to was nice. The man whom I talked to was nice. That's very formal English. We usually don't say it. The man that I talked to was nice. Or we don't have to say anything. I can just say the man I talked to was nice. With these kind, I don't need a connector at all. I don't need a connector at all. All right, let me give you another example with a thing. Let's see. Okay, oops, what happened? Right, that one down there was people, right? So for things, what am I going to use? Which, that, or nothing? So I have a car. I bought the car from a friend. Okay? So again, where is the word car? Is it before the verb or after the verb?
After the verb.
After the verb. So this is an object. So what can I say? I have a car that I bought from a friend. Or I have a car which I bought from a friend. Or I have a car I bought from a friend. I have a car with that. I have a car which I have a car I bought from my friend. Right? So this is what we call an object pattern. We use it when we're describing, it's almost the same, right? There's only a little bit of difference. And notice, we can use the word that for subjects and for objects. So if you get confused about it, just say that and you'll be fine. Right? That is always a good answer. All right? Okay, I want to practice this a little bit. Are you ready for some practice?
Yes.
Sure, why not? Okay, so let me share a different page here, if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, does everybody see the picture?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. What is in the picture?
The pie.
Delicious
Very
pie.
delicious
It's a blueberry pie.
blueberry pie. Oh my gosh. I love a good pie. Okay, let's look at the example. Did Melissa make a pie? Right? Where's the word pie? It's after the verb.
After the verb.
And B says yes. And the pie that she made was delicious. The pie that she made. Connector. Well, we have the noun, the connector, subject, and the verb. The pie that she made was delicious. Okay? All right, everybody got the idea? All right, let's practice a little bit together, and then we'll practice a little bit in the book. All right. Let's see. Armando, why don't I start with you?
Okay.
Armando, did Kevin see a scary movie?
Yes. He saw a scary movie.
But you're going to say the movie.
The movie
that he saw.
It was scary.
Very scary, right? The movie that he saw was scary, right? So class, did Kevin see a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Did Kevin see
a movie?
Yes.
That
the movie
he saw
saw
was scary.
scary.
The movie that he saw was scary. Good. David Segovia.
Yes. Yes, teacher.
Let me see here. David Segovia, is Emily looking for a bracelet?
Yes. The bracelet that was he looking for A goal?
Okay, so the bracelet that she is looking for
What she was looking for?
is
She's looking is gold.
gold, right? The bracelet that she is looking for is gold.
Gold.
The bracelet that she is looking for is gold. All right. Let's see. Julio,
Yes.
are you going to meet a counselor?
Yes. The counselor that I'm going to meet is very kind.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Julio, en fuego. No hesitation, no hesitation. All right, right. The counselor that I'm going to meet is very kind. The counselor that I'm going to meet is very kind. Very nice. Okay, let me see. Who else do I have in the room here? What about Edith?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's try the next one. Edith, did you take a test?
Yes. And the test that I took was difficult.
Perfect, perfect. The test that I took was difficult, right? The test that I took was difficult. These are the subject pattern clauses.
Was difficult.
Okay, let's see. Let me see here. How about Isadora? Isadora, are you ready?
Yes.
Will you call a customer?
Yes. The customer that I will call is Mr. Allison.
Right, the customer that I will call is Mr. Allison. The customer that I will call is Mr. Allison. All right, Jose Garcia.
Yes, teacher.
Number 6, do you like some music?
Yes, the music that I like is salsa.
The music that I like is salsa. Good. All right, let's see here. The next one for how about Leonarda? Leonarda, did Brian talk to a girl?
Yes, the girl that Brian talked
The girl
very
that Brian talked to.
talked to. Very smart.
Don't forget the verb, right? The girl that Brian talked to was very smart.
Was very smart.
Right? The girl that Brian talked to was very smart. All right, let's see. How about Rodriguez?
Yes.
Is Kimberly making a salad?
Yes. The salad that Kimberly is making is very healthy.
Very good. You guys are doing great with this. No problem. Qué inteligentes. Noel.
Yeah, yes. Number 10.
Did you read a book?
Yes, the book that I read was fascinating.
Right, the book that I read was fascinating. Good, good. Let's see. How about Claudia? Are you going to visit a museum? Claudia, are you there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sorry.
there we go. Okay, Claudia, are you going to visit a museum?
Yes, and the museum that I am going to visit is in Santa Barbara.
Perfect. The museum that I'm going to visit is in Santa Barbara. Okay, let me see. Who haven't I asked yet? Let's see. Claudia, Julio, I asked you already, right? Leonardo, David Segovia, did I ask you yet?
Yes, teacher.
You already did one? Or you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready, okay. All right. Number 11, David. Are you watching a TV program?
Yes, The TV program I'm watching is about Civil War.
Very good, very good. So notice what, did you see what David did there? He did something very clever, very smart, very intelligent. David said the sentence, but he said no connector. If you were listening carefully, David said, the TV program I am watching is about the Civil War. Totally okay. In this kind of clause, I don't have to say that or who or which. It's totally okay to say nothing. And in speaking, in spoken English, we drop it all the time. It's very common not to say the connector. So I say the movie I saw, the book I read, the car I drove, the house I bought. Very, very, very common. All right, let's see, the last one. Who haven't I asked yet? Lupe, have I asked you?
No, teacher, you haven't.
Okay, it's your turn. Did the students play a game?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. The student.
The game.
The game can be played for the student.
You're going a little crazy here. Start with the game. The game that I don't know what that noise was, but the game that the students played was a lot of fun. The game that the students played was a lot of fun. Right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. Everybody agrees? No problems?
He said, do you like a game?
What does song begin?
The students play game, a lot of fun. Oh, okay.
So I want you just to listen to me, and I'm going to do all 12 of them real fast. Just listen. Notice what we have every time. We have the connector, we have the noun, the connector, and then a subject and a verb. So just listen to my sentences. The movie that Kevin saw was scary. The bracelet that Emily is looking for is gold. The counselor that I'm going to meet is very kind. The test that I took was very difficult. The customer that I will call is Mr. Allison. The music that I like is salsa. The girl that Brian talked to was very smart. The salad that Kimberly is making is very healthy. The book that I read was fascinating. The museum that I'm going to is in Santa Barbara. The TV program that I'm watching is about the Civil War. The game that the students are playing, or played, sorry, is a lot of fun. Okay, got the idea?
Yes.
The game that the students play, it's a lot of fun. Okay.
All right, good. Let's see, let me cancel this for a second. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it. So, for example, if I say, tell me about a food that you like. Tell me about a food that you like. You could say, a food that I like is tamales. Right? You see what I'm doing? I'm going to ask you a sentence with a noun and a connector and a subject and a verb. Okay? And I want you to make an adjective clause. Okay? Everybody got the idea?
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Jose Garcia this time. Jose,
Yes,
are you ready?
sir. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Tell me about something that you bought recently. Tell me about something that you bought recently. So start with the noun. Something that I bought recently was.
Okay.
Coffee.
The groceries.
Okay.
The groceries
All right. So, but let's
was expensive.
Oh, okay. The groceries that you bought were expensive. Or you could say something that I bought recently was my groceries.
Okay.
And something that I bought recently was my groceries. All right. Edith. Tell me about a place in Los Angeles that you like to go. A place in Los Angeles that you like to go.
The places that I like to go is the beach.
The beach. A place that I like to go is the beach.
Is the beach.
Very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Claudia.
Teacher,
Yes.
can I repeat the sentence again?
Sure. One more time. Sure.
Okay. Yes. So the places that I like to go, is the beach.
The place that I like to go is the beach.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Claudia. Tell me about a TV program you like to watch.
Oh, the TV program that I like to watch is the Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Yeah, the program that
I like to watch.
TV that I like to watch is the Big Bang Theory.
Okay. Is that a good show? You like it anyway. You like to watch it. Okay, good. Armando.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the car that you drive.
The car that I drive is an Expedition.
An Expedition. Okay. Honda, right? Is that a Honda?
No, it's a Ford.
Ford Expedition.
Ford.
Ford Expedition. Okay. Oh, it's the Honda. Is it what they call the Honda? I don't know.
The Honda called the Civic.
The Odyssey, right? I don't know.
Honda Odyssey.
All right.
Odyssey, many SUV.
All right. Let's see. Julio.
Yeah.
Tell me about a person that you talk to every day.
A person that I talk to every day, my supervisor.
Is your supervisor, right? A person that I talk to every day is my supervisor. Good. A person that I talk to every day. Notice in English, I gave you all of those options, but really the most common English is to use that for people and that for things. We say it all the time. A person that I talk to every day is my wife, right? For example.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, I have a question. The answer Edith gives to you is the place what I like to go is the beach, or we can say are or no.
Well, if you were going to have more than one place, if you said you could make it plural.
She said a place. She said a places that I like to go.
Well, if it's places, you should name more than one, right? For example, the places that I like to go are the beach and Hollywood, right? If you're going to say more than one place, so if it's one place, the place that I like to go is the beach. All right, Isidora.
Yes.
Tell me about a singer that you like. A singer that you like.
The singer that who I like is the music of Joan Sebastian.
Joan Sebastian.
The singer that I like is Joan Sebastian.
Okay, all right. Is that the romantic music?
It's romantic. It's romantic music.
Romantic
yes.
Mexican music, huh?
Mexican music, yes.
Okay, very good. There's an American singer named John Sebastian too. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, there's an American singer named John Sebastian too, but he's a old from the 1970s. John Sebastian. Anyway, but that's a different guy, I think. Let's see. All right, let me try who? Guadalupe.
Yes, teacher.
Guadalupe. Tell me about a restaurant that you like to eat at.
The restaurant that I like to eat is Chinese food.
Oh, you like to eat Chinese food? You like to go to Chinese restaurants, okay?
Yes, I do like to.
All right, very good. So the restaurant that you like to eat at is Chinese restaurant, okay?
Okay.
All right, David, did I always ask you a question already?
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet, okay.
No.
All right, let me see. Tell me about a thing that you would like to buy.
A thing that I like to buy?
You would like to buy in the future.
A thing.
A thing, something that you would like to buy.
Okay. A thing that I like to buy in the future is a mechanic tool.
Mechanics tools. The things you would like to buy are mechanics tools. Good. All right, let's see. Noel.
Yeah.
Tell me about let's see. Tell me about a movie that you have seen recently. You don't like movies. Forget it. Forget it. I forgot. I asked the wrong person that question. All right. Let's see. Tell me about a person that you talked to recently.
A person to my friends.
A person that you talked to recently was your friend. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Edavigas.
Yes, teacher.
Tell me about a meal that you prepared this week.
Excuse me?
Tell me about a meal that you prepared this week.
A meal?
A meal.
Meal.
A meal that you prepared.
Thank you.
Okay. The meal I will prepare.
What?
What is meal?
Chicken.
Was enchiladas, was pozole, was menudo.
Chicken with shrimp.
Oh, chicken with shrimp. That sounds good. All right. Jose Garcia, have I asked you yet?
No problem. You can ask me again.
Oh, did I already ask you?
No worries.
All right. I'll ask you one last one. Let's see. Tell me about a store that you like to shop at.
To what, teacher?
A store that you like to shop at.
What means shop at?
Shop at.
Shop at.
A store that you like to shop at.
Oh, okay. The store that I like to shop is a Nike store.
Nike store. You like to go to the Nike store. That can be expensive to go there. All right. Leonardo.
Yes.
Tell me about a snack that you like to eat.
The snack I like to eat chips.
Chips? Okay. So a snack that I like to eat is chips. Good. So what do we do? Noun, that,
The snack,
subject, verb. Right? Noun,
yeah.
that, subject, verb.
Yeah.
That is the most popular for people and for things. That is the most popular. Okay. All right. Let's look at this in the book a little bit before we finish today. All right. So let me share my page of the book here. Let me see here. Okay. One moment, please. Okay. I want everybody to look at page 88. Page 88. Okay, does everybody have page 88 open?
Yes.
Now notice, in this book, they only give you connector that. But remember, all of those others are okay too that I mentioned. But by far, that is the most popular. So, for example, I like the car, you bought it. I like the car that you bought. Noun, connector, subject, verb. The mechanic has 20 years of experience. I use him. The mechanic that I use has 20 years of experience. Noun, connector, subject, verb. All right. Everybody got the idea?
Yeah.
Más o menos, más o menos. All right, let's see if we can do some of these together.
What page?
88. Ocho, ocho. 88.
Ocho. Thank you.
All right. So notice what we have. A good friend needed a car. I have known her, excuse me, for several years. I have known her for several years. So we're describing the friend. So a good friend that I have known for several years needed a car. Okay, how about the next one? She used to drive a car. She got it from her father. What are we describing?
The car.
A car.
The car, right? And the word is going to be it, right? So we're not gonna use the word it, right? We're not gonna use the word it, right? It is out,
Right.
right? We're not gonna use it. So what are we gonna say?
She
used to drive a car.
She
used to drive an old car that she got from her father. We got rid of that word it, right? She used to drive a car that she got from her father. She used to drive an old car that she got from her father. An old car that. Okay? How about this next one? It says, last January, the old car stopped working. She was driving it. So again, we don't want to use the word it. That's out. So what are we describing again? We're describing the car. Okay? So what can we say? Last January, what happened?
Last January,
the old car
The old car
that she was driving
stopped working. Right? The old car that she was driving stopped working. The old car that she was driving stopped working. Okay? The mechanic couldn't fix the car. Her neighbor recommended the mechanic. What word do we have here? What word are we describing?
The mechanic.
The mechanic.
So that's going to be out. Okay, so what are we going to say instead? The mechanic that
recommended
couldn't fix it. Right. The mechanic that her neighbor recommended couldn't fix it. The mechanic that her neighbor recommended couldn't fix it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. The next one. Finally, she decided to buy a used car from a man. She knew the man at work. All right, who are we describing?
The man.
The man. So the man is out, right? That's out. Okay, so what are we going to say?
Finally.
She finally decided to buy a used car from a man.
You.
A man that
She
she knew at work.
at work.
She decided to buy a car from a man that she knew at work. I take out the man and I replace it with that, because I don't need to repeat the word man, right? I don't need to say man twice. It's more efficient to just use the adjective clause. All right? He's an honest person. She trusts him completely. Who is him?
The honest person.
The person, right? The person. Okay, so we're going to take out him. So what are we going to say? He's an honest person that she trusts completely. He's an honest person that she trusts completely. Okay, good. Oops. Shouldn't have done that. Oops. All right, I have to figure out how to do this. All right, the price was really good. He named it. We don't want the word it, right?
All right.
So what are we going to say? The price?
The price was really good.
That he named.
Was really good.
Remember, after the noun, put the word that. So the price.
The price that
he named
named
was really good. Right? The price that he named was really good. The price that he named was really good. All right. The used car is only 3 years old. He sold her the car. What are we describing now?
The car.
The car, right. So again, we're going to take these words out. And what are we going to say? The used car.
The used car is only.
But remember, put the word that after car. The used car that
he
sold her
is only 3 years old.
She sold her only 3 years old.
Right. If it's a reliable car, she can drive it for a long time. What does it mean here?
A car.
Reliable car.
So we don't want to use the word it. So what are we going to say? It's a reliable car.
It's a reliable car
that she can drive for a long time.
Right. It's a reliable car that she can drive for a long time. All right. And the next one says, Susie is happy to have a vehicle. She doesn't have to worry about it. Again, we're going to take that word it and it's out. Right? Okay. So what are we going to say? What are we describing with it?
Susie is
happy to have a vehicle that she doesn't have to worry about.
It sounds funny to have that word about at the end of your sentence, but it's okay. Right? Susie is happy to have a vehicle that she doesn't have to worry about. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's listen to all these sentences and listen to them one more time. Let me turn on my little speaker here. Let's listen to these sentences and think about the connectors. Remember, what are we doing every time? We're taking this pronoun or this noun and we're throwing it away because we're already describing it in the sentence. Okay, so let's see if we can make a sentence here. Okay, let me see. Let me share it so everybody can hear. Okay. Then I'm going to turn off everybody's microphone for a second. All right, let's listen. Oops.
1,
A good friend that I've known for several years needed a new car.
2,
She used to drive an old car that she got from her father.
3,
Last January, the old car that she was driving stopped working.
4,
The mechanic that her neighbor recommended couldn't fix it.
5,
Finally, she decided to buy a used car from a man that she knew at work.
6,
He's an honest person that she trusts completely.
7,
The price that he named was really good.
8,
The used car that he sold her is only 3 years old.
9,
It's a reliable car that she can drive for a long time.
10,
Susie is happy to have a vehicle that she doesn't have to worry about.
All right, no problems? Everybody happy? I hope so. All right, good. I'm going to turn the microphones back on for a second. We're going to do one more practice before we're done tonight. Let me see here. Turn off the sound, turn on this, and then do one more practice. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, good. Everybody's back in business here? Okay, good. All right. ¿Qué pasó? I don't know. Oops. What happened to my book? I tell you, computers are nice, but sometimes a book is nice too, right? All right. There we go. All right. Can everybody see?
Yes.
All right. So here we have a noun and a verb and a description. It says, Ted and Lisa recently got married. Unfortunately, they have had some bad luck. Look at the chart and make some sentences by choosing one item for each column. All right, for example, the dishes. And again, we're going to make a connection with that, they, right? So the dishes that they, I don't know, bought on sale were broken, right? Dishes that they bought on sale were broken, right? Choose one from this column, one from that column, and one from this column. All right, everybody got the idea? Does everybody have a book tonight? Can you see the page?
Yes.
All right, so let's try some of these. So it's, you don't necessarily go in order, right? You choose one from here, one from here, and one from here. So for example, the computer that they got as a wedding present was too slow, for example. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna give you each one and I'm gonna ask you to make a sentence. All right? Let's see. The one already is done, but let's see if we can try another one. Armando. Let me see here. I need to get everybody's microphones off here. Okay, oops. Oh, everybody's muted now. I'm sorry. I pushed the wrong button. Can you unmute yourself, students?
Yes. Yes.
Take off your mute. Okay. All right, good. So Armando, can you make a sentence about the dishes?
Yeah, the dishes that they bought, they were too expensive.
So the dishes that they bought, oh, you made your own idea. That's fine. Were too expensive. Okay. All right. Claudia, can you make a sentence about computer?
The computer that I bought on sale is too slow.
It's too slow. Okay. Isadora, can you make a sentence about the car? Isadora, are you there?
The car that I purchased from a
Microphone
friend
is off.
Oh, that, yeah,
was
ready. The car that I purchased from my friend.
The car that I purchased from a friend was scratched. Okay. Okay. What about a sentence with camera? Rodriguez, can you make a sentence about camera?
Yes, the camera that I bought on sale was damaged.
Was damaged. The camera that I bought on sale was damaged. Good. All right. Edith, how about a rug?
The rug. Okay, the rug that I ordered from a catalog has the wrong color.
Is the wrong color. Okay.
Is the wrong color.
Yeah, so the rug that I ordered from a catalog is the wrong color.
Is the wrong color.
All right. Let's see. Julio, can you make one with lamps?
Yes, the lamps that I received from Aunt May were broken.
Were broken, okay. And coffee table. Who can make a sentence with coffee table? How about David Segovia? Oh, David, you're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, one more time. The coffee table.
Okay. Yeah, the coffee table that I bought on sale, it was scratched, damaged.
Was damaged, was scratched, was the wrong size, whatever you want to say, right?
Yeah.
So again, noun, and then we put in the connector and the subject, right? The dishes that I picked up at a garage sale were broken. The computer that I bought on sale is too slow. The car that I purchased from a friend is scratched. The camera that I got as a wedding present is damaged. The rug that I picked up at a garage sale is the wrong size. The lamps that I found on the internet are the wrong color. The coffee table that I received from Aunt May is the wrong size, right? So that we put that in there to connect the noun to the verb, or that they, or that he, or that she. Okay, got the idea?
Yes.
So you see an example here, right? The dishes that they received from Aunt May were broken. Pobrecito. Okay, good. All right. All right, how do you feel about adjective clauses? Not so terrible, right? Not too bad, not too bad.
Not too bad.
All right, so tomorrow night we're going to go back to chapter 6 and talk about one thing from chapter 6 that I want you to know before the test. And then we'll wrap up everything next week. Okay? Sounds good? Any questions?
Yes.
So the test is already in the system?
The test is in the system, and if you want to do it right now, you can. Right? If you want to start tomorrow, go for it. It's ready to go. It's waiting for you. So but I'd like you to try to do it before Monday, if you can.
Okay.
And remember, everybody, I don't know if I mentioned this enough, but the tests for this semester, the school has decided that the final tests are optional. So if you want to just stay in the same level, you don't have to take the test. But you might as well, just to see how you're doing, huh? Yeah, the worst thing that happens is you're in the same level, right? That's the worst thing. right?
Yes.
So maybe you do fantastic and you go to the next level. Okay. All right. So because it's such a crazy time, we're not going to do any speaking tests this year. No speaking tests. Okay. All right. So just do the listening, the reading, and the grammar, and that'll be enough. That'll be enough for this year. Okay. So you can start today if you want, or you can wait until the weekend, but try to finish it before Monday. Oh, I will tell you this about the test. There's a couple things you have to be careful about. Number one, remember that these tests, you can only submit the answers one time. You can only submit one time. So you can stop and start and stop and start as much as you want. But once you push that submit button, that's the end. Right? No more opportunities.
No more opportunity.
You'll find out your score right away. But you won't have any opportunities to go back and fix problems, right? So be confident before you do it. And one other thing I want to show you, if I can, if you don't mind. Can I show you one more thing before we go?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me share one more time here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here's this test we were looking at before, right? And you'll get to the end of a section. And I want you to notice something very carefully. You see this, what it says here in red?
Yes.
Once you click next page, you will not be able to change your answers. So you have to make sure you feel confident about this page before you push this button, right? Because once you push the button, those answers are locked in. Okay?
Okay.
So now I'm on the reading section, and I can do the reading section, blah, 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 reading section. Right? I'll do the reading section. 25 questions. And then I push next page again, and then I can't go back. So my suggestion to you is do it one section, take a break. Next section, take a break. Because if you try to do it all one after the other, it will take maybe 2 hours to do the whole thing. Right? Because for example, the listening is 30 minutes by itself. 30 minutes. And notice what it says about the listening. It says, listen to the sound file. While you are listening, answer the questions. Do not stop the recording. You will be given a sufficient amount of time to answer. So you're going to play this recording. It's 32 minutes. So just during that 32 minutes, answer the questions, right? Got the idea?
How many times that we can listen the listening?
Well, that's up to you. They say the information 2 times on the recording.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so they say each one 2 times. Right? So you'll hear it once, and then there's a pause, and then you hear it again. Right?
But they go in order, no? Like question number 1,
exactly.
question number 2.
Yeah, well, in this case, it's question 41. But yeah, it's in order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it will tell you what the questions are about. Okay?
Okay.
It will first it will tell you read the question. And then it says, okay, listen to this. Now answer the question. And then listen again. And then more opportunity to answer. And then you want to do one together just to get an idea?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do one together.
Let's do like a 23.
So I'll get 26 of them together. All right, hold on. Let me turn on the mic, the sound. Okay, let me see here. Donde está? Screen share. Share the sound. Okay. Okay, and we're going to go back here. Okay. All right.
Un hombre que está corriendo en la calle. Que se escapó. No sé si dónde se escapó la policía. No sé cómo. Pero,
How do you pay for ESL
Can
Advanced
everybody hear?
Slow Promotional
No.
Test? Listening section.
You hear?
Page 1.
Yeah.
Okay, let me skip past the
Listen to the record.
examples.
The answer to the first track.
All right.
Please do not write in the test booklet. Mark all your answers on your answer sheet. I repeat, please do not write in the test booklet. Mark all your answers on your answer sheet. Begin with question number 41.
So here it is.
Part
41.
A. Read questions 41 through 46.
So you have to read all the questions first. Okay, how long has Juan worked as a manager? Who told Mrs. Johnson? Why isn't Juan sure he can take the computer class? Where is the class? How much is the class? And how does Juan feel about Mrs. Johnson's suggestion? Okay? All right, let's see what we can do with this first one. All right, so you have the time to read the questions first. They give you a long time to read the questions, so you can get ready. Okay, and then they're going to have the conversation here in just a minute. And notice how I do it. While I'm listening, I'm going to click on the buttons. See, they give you a long time to read these questions.
Now listen to the conversation between Juan and his supervisor, Mrs. Johnson.
I really like the improvements you've made since you became office manager last month, Juan.
Thanks, Mrs. Johnson. I appreciate your support.
By the way, there is one area where you need improvement.
What would that be?
Anna told me that you needed help setting up the computer. Why don't you take a basic computer class?
I'd like to, but I don't know if I have enough time, and isn't it expensive?
Isn't it
Well,
expensive?
there is a new adult school class on Saturday on computer literacy. It's only $35 for 10 weeks. How's that?
Adult school class.
Oh, well, if it's only 10 weeks, thanks for the suggestion. I think that's what I'll have to do.
Thanks for the suggestion, right? And then you get to listen a second time, right? They give you time to answer the questions, and then they play the thing one more time. So if you don't get all of them the first time, you can get them the second time. See, they give you a lot of time to answer. You can think about it and answer the questions. And then, like I said, a long time you get to answer. And then sooner or later, it's going to tell you to listen a second time. Maybe.
I really like the improvements you've made since you became office manager last month, Juan.
Thanks, Mrs. Johnson. I appreciate your support.
By the way, there is one area where you need improvement.
What would that be?
Anna told me that you needed help setting up the computer. Why don't you take a basic computer class?
I'd like to, but I don't know if I have enough time, and isn't it expensive?
Well, there is a new adult class on Saturday on computer literacy. It's only $35 for 10 weeks. How's that?
$35.
Oh, well, if it's only 10 weeks, thanks for the suggestion.
Thanks
I think that's what I'll have to do.
She's grateful. Okay. All right. So that is how that test works. And then the next one comes, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Okay. Get the idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. This is basically the exact same listening test that we used to do before we did CASAS. And since we can't do CASAS listening this year, we're just doing the old test. This is the old test that we did before last year. Remember last year we switched to CASAS listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're going back to the one we did before we did CASAS because we can't do CASAS because we can't go to the computer lab. Okay? All right. Any questions? Any problems? Everybody happy? All right. So you can start on the test right now if you want. I wouldn't suggest it. But remember, probably it's going to take about 2 hours to do all the tests. So don't do it all at once or you're going to get too tired. Do a little, take a break. Do a little, take a break. So maybe do a little on Wednesday, a little bit on Thursday, a little bit on Friday, and finish on Saturday. Something like that, right? Yeah, because each part has 4 sections, right? Level six has 4 sections. Yes.
If you do like you say, do it one on Friday and then Sunday. Once you close the computer or once you close the program, it's not gonna go away.
No. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Oops. Let me show you what you need to do. I'm going to send this to everybody, but let me show you. Oops. Okay. Let me find it here. All right. Let me find it. ¿Dónde está? Okay. Give me just a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to send everybody this file on your app in just a minute, but let me find it first. Let me see here if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, does everybody see the page?
Yes.
Where it says how to take an assessment? Okay, so of course the first thing you do is you sign in, right? Sign in. You click on courses. I'm going to send you this paper. You're going to click on we're the cheetahs, but and then you go to this folder, Spring 2020, and then there's the testing materials, right? But here's when we get to the test, right? Remember, the first thing you do is you push Start Attempt. But then, notice it says, answer the question. If you need to take a break, you can close the page and click on Resume when you are ready to start again. You see that button? It says Resume. And then when you're finished, you push Submit. And then when you wait for your score. And while you're waiting for your score, you can press View. And then when you can check your score at the end. Okay? So when you take a break, you push Resume. If you can't figure it out, send me a text message and I'll help you. Okay? So I'm going to send this to everybody right now. Give you instructions. Okay? Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll put it in your Remind app and your WhatsApp right now, so you'll have it. Okay, upload a file. All right, you don't need to watch me do this, but okay. So everybody feel good?
Yes.
It's 9 o'clock, so we better go to bed, right? Okay. All right. Stay safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll do the one thing in chapter 6 we need to talk about. Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody.
You too.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Good night.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Look for that paper I'm going to send you right now.